You want to be a superstar? There is a blueprint.
Believe you were born to win. It's your right to win. Claim it, frame it, 'cause you were.
When I think back over the course of my career and I think about in all the positions I had at all the levels, there was always a group of people that someone would say, those folks are a superstar or that person is a superstar. And since I was somebody who wanted to be a superstar, I took extra close attention to figure out what made someone a superstar. What were the attributes? Now, I'm not just talking about financial services. I'm talking about folks that I knew in marketing, people that I knew in healthcare, people that I knew in academia. There's always a profile of a superstar. And while there might be different attributes depending on the career vertical, there are some common points. So let's talk about them. Number one, it's the presence and the power that they have when they come into the room. These people know that they know that they know that they are supposed to be there, and they're happy to be there, and they are eager to put forth their ideas and their contributions. Now, it can start with the confidence with which you say your name. That's one of the things that I counsel young professionals about all the time, especially young students. If I go into a classroom and I'm actually giving a presentation and I say, I want to know who's here. Tell me your name. You'd be surprised how many people will say their name just like this. They'll take their volume down, they'll start to lower their eyes, and they'll start to lower their head. You, above all people, should be proud of who you are. And when you say your name, say it with confidence. Hi, I'm Carla Harris. I remember in the early days of being a professional, I was sort of a freshman or a sophomore in college. One of the things people used to say is when you shake somebody's hand to introduce yourself, make sure you have a firm grip. Make sure it's not weak or all sweaty. And I just thought that was something that you were supposed to do. Now I understand that the reason that you do that, it communicates, I'm happy to meet you and I want you to be happy to meet me because I am. So when you say your name, say it with confidence. Look at people in the eye and make sure you're communicating with that confidence that you're supposed to be in that room too. So when I think about the superstars, they all have that common point of having confidence around the power in their presence. The second thing that I see in superstars is that whenever they are engaged in a meeting, they're very eager to make a contribution. Sometimes it's an answer, sometimes it's a comment, sometimes it's a question. But the way that they say it and the timing with which they say it makes it relevant to the listeners in the room. It's relevant because of when they insert it into the conversation, and it's relevant because of its content. So think about one of the ways that you can show people that you earned your right to be in that room and that you are preparing to contribute is by what you say and when you say it. Now, on your way to becoming a superstar, you can just practice. You can practice getting your voice in the room in other meetings, in your philanthropic endeavors, in the things that you might volunteer for. But get comfortable hearing your voice in a room with nobody else in the room. And once you get comfortable hearing your voice with nobody else in the room, then you will become more and more comfortable around hearing your voice out loud when there's 5 other people in the room, 15 people in the room, or 500 people in the room. The third thing that superstars do is that they show that they are unafraid to engage. They're the first to say, hey, is this your first meeting? Or, wow, how did you know so and so? They're always interested in getting to know somebody, but interested in engaging in whatever that endeavor is. Now, when I first started my career, I didn't have that natural curiosity. I wanted to get in, to do what I needed to do. And if other people were in the room, I was cordial. I would say hello. After all, I do have manners. But I was never so curious as to say, and how did you come to be involved in this organization? Or how did you get to know so and so? Or tell me more about the nature of your relationship. you'd be surprised how much you learn about the context in the room by just asking one or two questions. And by the way, if you're not naturally curious either, you can develop that skill. The fourth thing that I'm going to tell you about superstars at the end of the day is that they are big supporters of other people. Almost every superstar that I know is quick to add the attaboy or the attagirl or to recognize somebody else's contribution. And selfishly, if somebody else makes a great contribution, they're quick to add on or attach their currency to whatever currency is prevailing in the room. So as I think back over a pretty long career, those are common points that I've seen among all superstars across all industry. That's a quick blueprint. Embrace it and go get them.